We are live. This is the NBA rundown. We're going to be talking some NBA playoffs. And Tyler, we might even sneak in some hot draft takes there right at the end because, the NFL draft was definitely exciting. And as a Raiders fan, I was happy about it. So I want to talk about it. But this is the NBA rundown. The channel's Nuke the House. Please hit the thumbs up. And before we dive into tonight's game, I just want to talk about these series overall. So, because we won't talk about it in terms of a handicap. Let's start with the Suns and the T-Wolves. Now, Tyler, I was absolutely wrong. You tried to talk me off that Suns game 3 bet, and I thought that this team was going to show up at home. They beat Minnesota 3 times during the regular season. They beat Minnesota in Minnesota when the Timberwolves had the opportunity to grab the number 1 seed. And that was just 2 weeks ago, the last day of the season. Phoenix got that crucial win. Anthony Edwards cemented himself as the star. For me, it's kind of fun, and I so hope that the Lakers get eliminated tonight. We'll see KD, Steph, and LeBron all eliminated. Hopefully, cross my fingers. Who knows about that, right? But let's see this new age here, right? Traditionally, players in their mid-30s have not been the best players in the NBA, and I felt that we started to see that in this series. Tyler, talk to me about what you saw in the Wolves and the Suns.
I mean, after game 1, I flipped on that series. We were both on the Suns to start. I said, right after I watched that game, I said, bigger, stronger, more physical team is just going to outmuscle them. They have a guy who is a top 5 guy in the league right now that can go get a bucket whenever they want, and the Suns really can't play defense. They're wasting $150 million on Bradley Beal for the next 3 years. They're stuck with that contract. There's no chance you're trading that one, and he has a no-trade clause, so that money you're stuck with. The question now is what do you do with the other 2? Do you just try and run this back and maybe fill some pieces, or do you maybe put both of those names in trade talks and see what you can get back for them? Because I wouldn't hate sending KD to OKC for some of these rookies and these 2-year guys that they have and a bunch of their draft picks and him just going back to where it all started, or Golden State sending them back there. And Booker, on the other hand, they're saying Booker wants to be in New York, but I don't know how true that rumor is. You always get those rumors right after they're eliminated from the playoffs. But right. I can tell you one thing, Vogel is fired. The players hate him. They wouldn't even shake his hand after the game. Like, he is 100% fired.
You know what's so funny about that, too, is it's not his fault at all. This is a poorly constructed team, and I talked about it on Twitter a little bit. They gave up too much to get Durant. Right, so they already hamstrung themselves there. And then the Beal trade was the nail in the coffin. Red Auerbach, Phil Jackson, it doesn't matter. Nobody could have got that team with that depth to win. JC, this is kind of fun, but let's just go ahead and pile on the Phoenix Suns. Let's pile on Bradley Beal because it's the worst contract in the NBA right now. I mean,
yeah,
it's some Ben Simmons stuff.
No, 100%. I mean, I had faith. I've been preaching on Phoenix all season long. I said, just wait for the playoffs. This team is going to show up and show out, and they just didn't. They've looked awful. Credit to the Timberwolves. I mean, it's I think equal storylines here of how great the Timberwolves have looked and also how tragic Phoenix has been. I mean, no matter what, Minnesota was going to win the series. If the Phoenix team we thought was going to showed up, we'd have one hell of a series, probably go 7 games, Minnesota winning, but they are just running rampant on them. They are a force. And I mean, he's a rising star in this league, and he's kind of got some Jimmy Butler vibes going, like a guy who's great in the regular season, but is just next level in the playoffs. So excited to see him in the next round. Suns are screwed, though. I don't know. I mean, KD, he's out of there. Like you said, you can't get rid of Beal. And, I mean, Booker's great, but he's not doing anything on his own. I don't even think he's as good as Trae Young. Like, if you want to talk about, like, what.
No, he's way better than Trae Young.
He's way better than Trae Young.
I don't know. I at least mean from the perspective of I don't think he's going to do.
He was the best shooting guard in the league up until this series. I'll say that.
And even, yeah, right. And Ant took his place because Ant's a two-way player. But I'm not blaming Booker or Kevin Durant for this. They had no one around them. Like, the team had no depth at all. They had no point guard at all. They had no direction at all. I don't want to blame the coach. I don't want to blame the stars. This is a failure of the general manager and the owner for just giving everything away for this shiny new toy in Bradley Beal. And even when James Jones, when that KD trade happened, Ishiba overruled him, or however you say his name, because James Jones said, I can't give away Bridges, I can't give away Johnson, I can't give away all these picks and still have a winning team. And then they double down with Beal. So I don't want to blame the Stars or the coach. This is a fault of a front office and overvaluing
No, you really
a small
can't even
guard
just
in his
blame the
30s
front
who's
office.
only going
It's
to get
just an
worse.
owner blame.
Pardon?
It's just you can't even just blame the front office with James
It's the
Jones
owner.
not winning the trade. Yeah, it's all on the owner.
Yeah.
What?
And now
Okay,
they're going to, as the Kings fan, it's great. It's almost like now we don't have a team to worry about in our division for like the next 5 or 6 years.
what is Phoenix? So, like, looking next year, if Booker's as good as you say, what do you expect from Phoenix next year, assuming they don't have KD?
I mean, we've seen teams with one good, like the Spurs have Victor Wembanyama, right? He's what we argued, right? But we all agreed he's top 15,
Sure.
arguably top 10, arguably top 5, and they're one of the worst records in the league. So it just goes to show.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying then about Trae Young. Trae Young, wherever you want to put him, he at least drags that team to the playoffs, or has.
I think the issue people have with Trae Young is his teammates don't want to play with him, and he's unable to get stopped. So nobody really sees how this translates.
But I'm just saying, you're saying Booker is better than Young, but you don't even think Booker is going to be able to take this team to the playoffs.
No, because one person can't take a team to the playoffs anymore,
Dude,
and their roster's terrible.
Depending on the package you get back for KD, he could 100% put this team in the playoffs.
How many years he's got left on that contract?
He just signed an extension. He's got a big one.
2 years, maybe.
Booker or KD?
KD's got 2 more years, I believe.
KD's got 2 more years. I think Booker has like 4 or 5.
And we agree he's out, though?
No.
I'm not 100% sure he's out. If you wanted to...
Who's giving up a haul for a 36-year-old Kevin Durant?
If you wanted to rebuild this team right now on the fly and you don't have draft picks, the guy you have to trade is Booker.
Interesting.
Or Durant. I mean, you get a couple draft picks for Durant, right?
But Booker, like, just for instance, like, you call the Knicks. Like, you might be able to rip the Knicks off for Devin Booker and get, like, 4 first-rounders and 2 to 3 players. And it's like, all right, now we just piece those guys around KD and Beal. Or you call up New Orleans and steal a bunch of their picks and their players. There's spots where you could drop Devin Booker for a massive.
No, I agree with you. Booker would get a haul.
New York, LA.
Just because, let's say you get Booker, you got another 5 years of prime play.
Right.
KD, he's
hear
only
me out
going
on
to
this. They call Philly. What players are untouchable? Because I think they could easily say we want Maxey and 3 first-round picks, and they probably go, okay.
I don't think they would. Do you?
New York.
I think
LA.
they would give up the picks. I think it would be the 3 picks and then all the filler, like Healed and I just don't. And Maxey to Booker, is that an upgrade at this point?
I think it is.
I think it's a slight upgrade. I don't know if it's worth 3 first-round picks though.
I think it's just the name value that you'd be able to rip them off. They're looking at they're going to go out 4-1 also, so they're going to want to make moves to where it's just one of those reaction trades to where it's like, hey, we might have overpaid for this guy, but let's see if this works.
There's so many teams that would take either of those guys and would give up a lot for them. New York, LA, Philly, OKC, maybe NOLA, Milwaukee.
Imagine what
Miami.
Orlando gives up for a shooter like Devin Booker.
Oh my gosh.
That's a great landing spot.
Yeah, I don't think
he would fit well there.
They would have any shortage of suitors if they put either of those guys.
Especially because that team's so big to begin with.
Mark Cuban would definitely be a guy that would look to get KD with those 2 guys in Dallas too.
That wouldn't fit it. I mean, he would do it. Well, is Cuban even running the team anymore?
He still runs basketball operations. Like when he sold the team, he kept that. Like,
I don't like that.
Would KD go play with Kyrie again? What was kind of the final consensus there?
I don't think that was.
I don't think they have any issues.
Okay.
I think it was all on management.
Sure. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we talked bad about the Suns. I mean, we did what every other podcast did, but I mean, it's just so fun to pile on because.
Let's talk about the winner of that series spread.
Yeah. Who they go on to play?
Denver.
Or Los Angeles. The Lakers aren't eliminated yet. We'll get into that one later.
Give me the overreaction bet of what we just seen. They're gonna beat Denver.
They're not going to beat Denver.
No, I would take Denver in 7. That'd be my kind of.
It's going to be a battle, but I think this could be like, oh, Ant is here. Like, we thought he was like arriving, but this is like, he is the guy now. If Jamal Murray's not 100%,
yeah, all right.
They have multiple. I know Jokic has dominated Rudy all this time, but they have multiple bigs that they can throw at him. He could be on his own. Their perimeter defenders are going to maul Jamal Murray and force him to make tough shots. Same thing with Michael Porter.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota's not going to get all these offensive rebounds they got, but again, they're still going to get rebounds. They play tough defense. I think that they are very, very live to beat the Nuggets here. Depending on the price, I will be on the T-Wolves.
You know what? The more you talk about this, Tyler, the more you're absolutely right. Here's two of the keys that you got. Number one, Minnesota was the toughest series for Denver last season.
Yeah, and
Minnesota played
way better.
Denver tougher in the playoffs than the Lakers played them last year, and we see how much problems the Lakers are giving them this year. And I know they're up 3-1, but these games have been really close, and I don't necessarily think that they're shooing to win
be
tonight.
Honest here. Who do we trust more against the good perimeter defenders on both sides to go get a bucket? Ant versus KCP and Aaron Gordon, or Jamal Murray versus Jaden McDaniels, Ant, and like Nickeil Alexander-Walker? Because I think Ant
the
gets
thing
bucket
is,
on
when they
those
need
guys.
a bucket, it's going to the big fella.
The big fella's got 3 guys that could be all over him too. So it's going to be.
He can crush anybody.
He mauls, but this is a weird matchup. They have multiple bigs. They play tough. It's going to be fun. I'll say that.
Okay, so I'm kind of agreeing with you, JC. Your thoughts here? Tyler's planting his flag. I'm like reluctantly admitting he's making a lot of good arguments, but I don't know if I want to get there yet.
If you don't have the Minnesota 11-1 ticket or better for them to win the finals, put that in your pocket because they're the second best team in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine
they're better. Boston's better.
We just think about that matchup. We just watched Rudy just dominate Nurkic. He would maul Porzingis. We just watched Cat have his way. Boston has no size to guard Cat. McDaniels and Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Ant put Tatum and Brown in hell. Where are they going to score from?
I mean, JC, he's making some good arguments. Jump in here and take it away. Tyler's giving you plenty to react to.
Yeah, no, for sure. So, I mean, he is making really good points, and it does kind of feel like the Boston-Miami series last year, where the series prices are going to come out. And while I'm not, if we're just going straight up, I'm still taking Denver to win the series, but I think the value is going to be there in such a way that you have to place the bet. Same thing happened last year. The value was there on Miami. I placed that bet. Didn't expect to win, but that was a huge payout when they did. So, I mean, I absolutely see it going. Depending on the prices, I'll probably throw some coin on them. I love Denver in 7 games. It's going to be a knockout, drag-out series. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. But I just – they're playing great. I do think they're inflated by how poor of a performance we're seeing from Phoenix, and I
think that's a crucial question, though. Did Phoenix play that poorly, or is Minnesota that good? Because Phoenix's stars still got theirs. Look at KD and Booker last night. I mean, they had great numbers.
Booker was in hell until the last game. Go look at Booker's games 1 through 3 stat lines. That man couldn't.
Yeah, he was pretty poor. But even last night, he showed up, and they had no role players because the advantage of 3 through 9 or 10 on that roster was all Minnesota, and it was a big edge. It wasn't like nitpicking like Trae Young versus Devin Booker when we're nitpicking.
Who wins those matchups off the bench when they play Denver? Because I think Naz Reid, Nickeil Alexander-Walker are the 2 best players off the bench, and they're both on Minnesota.
I agree. And when I'm picking Denver, I'm picking off the strength that Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world right now. And I do expect him to get things done when it matters. And as good as Ant is, I still think Jokic is still just that much better. We got the experience. But this is fun, and I think you made some good points. I mean, you definitely made me hesitant to lay more than minus 150 on Denver with everything you said.
I'm worried, though. Like, I'm really interested to see what the prices are going to be on that series because I don't know how the play that we've seen from Minnesota will affect that price than if, this was a first round matchup.
Well, I think a lot of things that we're going to see tonight, and of course, guys, we are going to get into those games. So if you're here for the just the picks, maybe come back in 20 minutes because we're going to talk about this stuff. I think that it depends on how tonight goes. Now, if Denver just dispatches LA tonight, they win by 10 or more points. Murray looks somewhat good, and then how much time would he have? When would they start it, Tyler? If they win tonight, would they start it this weekend? They probably would start on Saturday, right?
That's my guess. Sunday?
Yeah. So that would give Murray. Today's Monday. They wouldn't start it on Thursday night, would they?
Murray's a calf strain, and we've seen what calf strains have ended up doing. Tell me this scenario isn't like very not likely to happen, but like this can't happen over the next 2 weeks. Denver, he's rolled out tonight. Mm-hmm. Denver dispatches of LA. Minnesota's a dog in the series, and everyone thinks Murray's going to come back. He doesn't play game one. Minnesota gets it. Everyone's like, wait a minute. He forces his way back game two, and it blows the Achilles out. And now it's like, oh my God. Denver's now back where they were a few years ago, and Minnesota's going to cruise. That scenario is very likely to happen. How many guys have we seen rush back?
I'm with you until very likely. I would say that's a possibility. We're going from him sitting a game out to blowing his Achilles and being out for 2 years.
With these calf strains, all these guys that rush back have blown their Achilles out. Why do you think we didn't see Giannis force his way back into that series?
Okay. All right, that's fair. But let's. I'm going to go ahead and give him the credit that they're not going to do that. But you make very good points. Here's my point. With the uncertainty around Murray, I would price this at Denver minus 150. If the price came out below that, I would say the value's on Denver. If it's above that, I would say the value would be on Minnesota. That's my fair price, and I'm just doing it off the top of my head. I'm not running projections for every single game. JC, what would you put a fair price on that series? And after that, we're going to stop because we don't even know if this series is happening. If Murray's not 100%, Los Angeles can beat them.
No, it's happening.
I'd expect Denver to be around like minus 200.
What if your little scenario happens tonight, Tyler, and Murray blows his Achilles tonight?
I'm beating my desk because then whatever Minnesota's number was is terrible now. Like they're going to be favored in the series.
I'm just saying, if Murray's not 100%, Lakers might win this series.
Talk about their 4 games they played this year in the matchups, just regular season.
I only got like 15 more minutes. Can we move on from this series?
All right, yeah, we could jump ahead.
How about this? Just stick with us, JC, and when you have to drop out, you have to drop out. And feel free to interrupt anytime. We can
jump into tonight's games. I mean, we're just talking about this series forever.
Well, I want to talk about. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's go into tonight's games, but that will give me some ideas on. I got to get your thoughts on what's happened so far. So, JC, we're going to start with the Celtics and the Heat. We're going to start with you because you only have 15 more minutes now. Clyde, who's in the chat, right? Everyone wanted to trash Boston after they lost game 2 because we already know this. This is not a team that handles success well. And I made the joke last year. They're like the VH1 behind the music. The second they get money, they're all doing blow and they're all fucking each other's girlfriends. And, the whole band falls apart, right? Now, and I told Clyde, I said, they're going to win. You guys are overreacting. They're going to win the next game in Miami by 22. I was wrong. They won by 20, JC. What do you think happens tonight coming off the 20-point win?
I don't know. I mean, it's like people were going to overreact. Miami just has Boston's number. It's always going to be a tougher series. I don't think this is a bad reflection on Boston, the skill they have, what they're going to do in this series, what they're going to do in the East. For whatever reason, Boston just plays them well. I mean, Miami just plays them well. So, yeah, I could see, this is just not a series I have any interest in betting. I could see it going 6 games. I could see Miami stealing another win along the way. But just as we've seen all season, it's just a disgusting league to bet on right now. So, isn't it what's the spread? 10.5?
Right now, I have minus 10, minus 113 on bookmakers. So you probably have 10.5 on more public books.
I'd probably take the points in Miami.
Yeah, I kind of like to zigzag with Boston, Tyler. I want to play them off a poor performance and maybe fade them off a good performance. At the same time, when we're talking about edges, are we actually betting an edge here? or are we just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it sticks? How are you approaching the Celtics and the Heat? Another thing to notice after a lot of unders, overs have made a comeback, and you can't blind bet unders anymore. The totals are about fairly priced now, so you can go either way on the
calling all
totals.
the fouls again.
Pardon?
They're calling all the fouls again. I mean,
Yeah, it's kind of weird how they did that.
Night, they had 38 free throws in the first quarter. Embiid's been racking up free throws in his series. Like they just keep blowing the whistle in these series. I really don't want to bet this game at all. Like Boston should be able to do their thing, but Miami just plays them well. Like maybe some props I'd take a shot on, like Jaylen Brown's numbers 21.5. I'd maybe play the over there. Maybe take up 25 plus at plus 180. I don't hate Caleb Martin's threes. He might bounce back. He hit 5 2 games ago. He didn't shoot very well last game, but his 1.5's plus 130. His 3+ is plus 450. Like these are doable for him. Jaylen Brown plus 210 to hit 3 threes. Just parlay Jaylen Brown and Caleb Martin to make 3 threes, and that's a 12-1 ticket. Like, I don't hate doing something like that in this game. We know they're going to chuck threes. Miami's only hope is to hit 25 plus threes. So I don't hate betting overs there.
And the funny thing is, normally we'd say that's not possible, but they hit like over 50% for the whole playoffs last year. So we know this team.
They just did it in game 2. So it's like Bam's points too. I don't hate that. In the chat, I see Clyde talking about it.
Wow, we're actually agreeing with Clyde. That means we need to move on with the next game. JC, anything more on that one before I pepper you with thoughts here on our next?
No, it's a gross series. Hard to bet.
I love that spot. I mean, here's my hope. Miami wins game 4 and I can just smash Boston in game 5.
Yes.
I want to play Boston off losses or poor performances already.
Yep.
All right. Clyde says move on, and we got to listen to him. The Oklahoma City Thunder are -4.5. Tyler, this line moved a lot. I believe the Thunder were -1 in game 1, or they were +1. Anyways, it was right around a pick. Now they're -4.5, and that's because after that great showing in game 1 where they kept it close and they had a chance to win, and we're all saying, don't sleep on the Pelicans. The Thunder have thoroughly outclassed them, including a 20-something point win. I don't know. I turned it off. My bad, guys. On Saturday in New Orleans. I mean, so other than just being contrarian, like, why would we take the Pelicans here?
No, you can't take the Pelicans here. I mean,
do we take the Thunder though?
I think we can. I think they just run away.
4.5 even.
Yeah, like I think the Pelicans, like it's just you see they quit last game. Like once Lou Dort chases Brandon Ingram around a couple screens and he can't get open shots or get a mismatch, he just kind of gives up. They're going to try and play Joe Val for a little bit in this game. That's going to kill him. Then they're going to go to Larry Nance. Like they're dead. I think the Thunder, like, what's a Thunder win margin by like 11 plus here? Like, if that's a nice number, I wouldn't hate hitting that.
I'm kind of with you as far as picking the winner. I don't know if the point spread will be matter that much. So I guess I'm not as afraid of the 4.5 as when I said it out loud. I realized like
I don't hate the 4.5. I don't hate some of these lower, like of course, like the SGA points prop 27.5. You can go over there, but like Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, like. If this game turns into a blowout, these guys are going to get run late. So if you want to bet, like
I don't know. I think because just they're going to want to end it. I think the starters would play unless it's like a 30-point game.
I think that if you see the Pelicans start to get blown out early, they could easily just wrap it up and be like, "We're done here."
I don't think they would. That's where we disagree. But everything else, Tyler and I agree on that. JC, jump in. Do you agree with Tyler and I, or are you going to provide a counterpoint? Skip Bayless.
No, I agree with the point that if it gets ugly, it's going to be bad. But I love a home dog down 3-0. I mean, it's just one of those bets. It's one of the best bets in sports. Teams love to play with their food. Drag them back to OKC. Win the series in front of your home fans. It's a great opportunity for some plus money. So OKC has not been dominant enough in this series to think they're just going to run them over in a sweep. So I think.
Well, okay. To be fair, game 1 was close, but game 2 and 3 weren't close. They have been fairly dominant.
True. I mean, true. I just mean yes, but I guess a better way of saying that is New Orleans has shown some fight, and they've shown they're capable of winning a game. So I think they try and take one here at home just for the series to be dragged back to Oklahoma. And if that is the case, I will absolutely take Oklahoma by 20 in Game 5.
Okay, so JC saying there's a little bit of value on that money line there, plus 167 for the Pelicans. And I think that's fair. We talked about how we don't think that it will be a buzzer beater win. So if you're gonna take the Pels, and hey, I mean, this is their last game of the season. They have some pride. We saw that with the Lakers the other night where we all wrote them off, and this series is over, and Denver beats them every time. And the picture of Jokic and LeBron as a little baby, blah blah blah. So I don't want to write off these teams' competitiveness. I think it's also hard, though, watching a Suns team that we didn't think would get swept and we thought would go all out last night just fall apart because they were the inferior team. All right, let's move to the main event of the evening, the game that everybody's talking about. And it's the Los Angeles Lakers taking on the Denver Nuggets. And Tyler, I'm the number one Lakers hater on YouTube, on Twitter, wherever you
Clyde's giving me too much hate today. I'm going to address this one. No, I didn't say try to win. I'm just saying they're going to have Oklahoma is going to cruise in this game. They don't really care. New Orleans is trying to keep the series from ending. So I just think they're going to show up with more fight. A team like OKC, when it's Game 4 on the road, very lax. They don't really care, right? They win, they sweep, great. Otherwise, series comes home, they take care of business there. I just think it's very different demeanors coming from both teams coming into this game. Smart ass.
Well, very good points. The only thing I disagree with you is feeling the need to respond to Clyde. Let's go ahead and jump ahead now, Tyler, to tonight's game. As the number one Lakers hater, I'm worried, man. I'm worried that this team found some momentum. They're going to get a bunch of calls, and that Jamal Murray's not going to be out there tonight. Talk me off the ledge, or let me know, are these concerns coming from a realistic place?
No team has ever come back from 3-0 spread, and we think
the Boston Red Sox did in 2004.
No NBA team has ever done it. I don't see it happening. Even if he did say come back tonight and get hurt and be out the rest of the series, you're telling me Jokic just can't have a monster performance and steal one game? We're trusting D'Lo to keep playing well. That could die at any moment. Austin Reeves put up 20 last game. These guys didn't show up in games 1 through 3. They showed up in Game 4. I wouldn't bet this game pregame. Maybe try and get the Nuggets at a better number, but I think they win it and just end it tonight, regardless of Murray being.
So are we doing the same stuff we did every game that worked every night until Game 4, and that's just wait for them to fall behind and bet them live?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure you call me, Tyler, and have it go straight through, because sometimes the messages, but the other one will cut off my earphones. So call me if you place that bet. JC, talk to me.
From our boy Johnny Nelson's pretty funny. I was on the live show.
Jonathan Nelson loves my pain, bro.
Well, no,
he's like
it's just
if you guys watch Star Wars, my pain makes him stronger, like the bad guys.
It has nothing to do with all that. It was just funny because he was on the live show on Saturday when they played Game 4, and he said they were dead.
Yeah, he said he was in the chat on Friday saying Lakers were cooked, and I'll make the joke for the final time, even though no one even laughed the first 70 times. But how does a generation that DoorDashes every single meal use the term cooked? JC, your thoughts?
I heard a LeBron stat today. You're going to love spread.
Yeah, I hate everything about that guy. I mean, can the guy just retire?
So
if I could get his HGH cut off right now, I would.
LeBron is only the 6th player to ever play 21 seasons in the NBA.
Okay.
And the other 5 players, Kevin Willis, Kevin Garnett, Robert Parrish, Vince Carter, Dirk Nowitzki. In their 21st year, LeBron James scored more than
all of them combined, right?
Yes.
Bro, because Dirk, look at Dirk, bro. Do you think he's doing HGH? Do you think Vince Carter was doing HGH? And we talked about this in the chat, JC. I don't understand how everyone slurps LeBron every single night, but they keep Barry Bonds out of the Hall of Fame. Unbelievable.
Because other than your imagination, there's no reason to think LeBron is on steroids.
Except for people calling him out, Chael Sonnen, known steroid user, saying, hey, he goes to my guy, him getting caught, shipments going to his house, his name coming up in federal investigations where steroid dealers were getting popped and his address was one of the places they were shipping to. Other than that evidence, we don't have nothing, right, JC?
Sounds very circumstantial and hearsay.
You would make a great defense lawyer for the mob.
Thank you. But no,
right.
LA's.
Let's actually
LA's
talk
done.
about this game tonight, whether or not he's doing it or not. He's still getting to the rim. He only goes to the right, but he still gets to the rim with ease. He's still grabbing rebounds. Excellent basketball IQ. Gets the ball forward in the break. And we haven't seen it a lot, but I know in my heart he can actually be a good defender when he wants to. I'm scared, bro. As the number one Laker hater, we're all Lakers haters here in Sacramento, right? It's something we do because our team's run by Vivek and they all suck. I was so hoping to hear the fireworks because we lit off fireworks in our neighborhood when he loses. Am I going to hear fireworks tonight, JC? Please.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jokic is just going to have a monster game, and he's going to put his end to this series, no doubt.
I hope you're right. You're right.
Whatever you want, just pick a number and bet on Jokic to score it. It's going to be ugly. He's going to take care of business, and maybe we'll finally have the end of LeBron. But probably not.
Dude, the guy's not going to go away. It's going to be some Brady shit. We got like 6 more years of this shit.
I mean, he wants to play with his son, so yeah.
Yeah. All right. Tyler, any props or anything for this game? I know you told me we're going to bet it live. Is there,
you can bet Jokic triple-double. I could see him going crazy.
I was going to say, or just a Jokic point prop. Normally, I'm not big on point props, but if Murray's not in there or he's not 100%, we could get a lot of that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Jokic to score 30 is plus 130. Don't hate that.
Love it. Love it. Book it.
I'm not even talking to Clyde. Just such ridiculous. Not even. All right. Let's move on to tomorrow night. JC, whenever you have to.
Go talk to me first on this one, and then I'll run.
All right. New York Knicks, do they finish it off against the Philadelphia 76ers? They're -4. They're up 3-1. That's another one. The series has been really close. It could easily be 2-2 or 3-1 Philadelphia, but the Knicks have got the breaks. They've got things to go their way so far. Now they have an opportunity to finish the series at home. Embiid doesn't look 100% to me. Jalen Brunson actually got hurt in that last game. We know Mitchell Robinson's not 100%. Both these teams are beat up. Knicks are laying 4. Your thoughts, JC?
Yeah, my favorite performance double on this one is Embiid to fake an injury and New York to win.
All right. I don't know where to find that, but send me the book that you can bet that on.
Yeah.
Tyler, your favorite team, the New York Knicks. Oh, go ahead, JC.
No, yeah. You nailed it, man. I mean, I love New York. I've always loved the Knicks. Great team, great city, great fans. Nothing bad to say about the old blue and orange. I thought we'd had a better series here, though. I really thought Philly was going to make it interesting going to it. I thought it was going to be a good series.
Well, all they need to do is win tomorrow night, and it is an interesting series.
It's a fair point. But, I mean, Embiid just getting no help. So the injuries to New York are a little scary, but Embiid, this New York team is too good for Embiid to do it by himself. There have been other playoff series where he's able to get past the first round by himself, but it's done. It's you hate it for Embiid. I love it for the city of Philadelphia. They're all miserable people, and couldn't happen to a better city than Philly. Everything they go through. Yeah.
Wow, scorching.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tyler, try and top that.
I mean, Knicks probably win. Like, Philly, he's probably right. I mean, I really wasn't listening either. I was reading something on my phone.
What a dick!
I haven't really looked into tomorrow's games. So you told me we were talking
okay.
NFL after the games, and then you go into tomorrow. So
we're doing all. I mean, did you want to do a show tomorrow? I'm just trying to knock these games out now so we can chill.
I mean, we could do it now, but yeah, I didn't have that on the list of things that we talked about before the show that we were talking about.
I'm sorry. I just assumed that we'd just be efficient and do tomorrow's games too. Did you want to wait till tomorrow?
No, we can do it now, but yeah, I mean, I think the Knicks probably pulled off. I don't have much of a
I like Knicks -4. I think they'll.
I could see Philly. I could see Philly winning the game.
I could see Philly winning too, but I think I talk about the refs and the Lakers. I mean, this is another one where why would they not want Why would they not want New York to advance? I think they're going to have all the advantages here at home. I like the Knicks -4 to end this.
Can I
Okay.
Can we talk about LA real quick?
Which LA? The Clippers?
Yeah.
All right, that's all the way to Wednesday, but sure. Let's go right ahead.
We're talking series. Just tremendous. I was down so bad. I really thought, the way the series started, well, I mean, it was a great first game, embarrassing second game, down 2-1. I really thought that it was over for them, but they're showing life. Playoff P finally coming to fruition. We've been waiting forever. Clippers in 7, and why not? Clippers to win the West. Just book it. I was down on this team all year, telling you the injuries are coming, but they're overcoming it. They don't care. LA it's their time to shine.
Tyler, talk to this delusional man. I'll be right back.
I mean, if Kawhi's going to sit, they will be a much better team, but I don't think they can shoot how they shot that last game and have Dallas put up the stinker of a first half to where they can grab that 30-point lead again. That 30-point lead evaporated, and they tied that game at one point and even took the lead. Yeah. Luka played like dog shit. If he steps his game up, it's going to be one of those series where I think can go 7, but I think it goes 7. I think whoever wins this series probably beats OKC.
Yeah,
but they're not beating Denver or Minnesota.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. It's definitely kind of a look ahead in that way, where I just seeing what the Pelicans are able to do to OKC without Zion, I just feel like LA would clobber them. I really expected.
So wait, you already have the Clippers advancing?
Yeah, they're book them in the Eastern Conference Finals, no doubt.
The Clippers are going to make the Eastern Conference Finals.
Western Conference Finals. Okay, misspoke. Sorry. But it would be. I don't know how that team is going to be so brittle and banged up by the time that series rolls around. So I understand the problem there. But go ahead. Clippers in 7 against Dallas. Clippers in 4 against OKC. Y'all have a great day.
Wow. I'm sorry, Tyler. I missed it. Are you with JC?
No, I mean, I don't think they should have lost that last game.
Is Luka 100%?
No, but I think he plays better in the next game.
Bro, we have a Mavericks ticket. Are we worried about that?
I mean,
should we double down on the Clips?
I'm not sweating out future tickets, really. I'm not going to run the bet.
I'm just saying we could buy out of the bet right now.
I mean, I have them parlayed to the Knicks. I'm not buying out.
Okay, I have them straight up. I can get the Clippers at +150. Let's hope that. I'm surprised the Mavericks are -167. They were -133 to start.
It's because
Is that just because of Kawhi?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, it's because Kawhi was supposed to play.
All right. Let's see. Let me go back. The final game or 2 more games. Pacers Bucks. Any thoughts there?
Pacers probably run away with that. -3.5 is probably a gift. I don't think Dame plays again. Bobby Portis got ejected quickly in that last game. I mean, that probably doesn't happen again, but I don't think he swings them that far in the favor of Milwaukee. Indiana's going to speed it up. They're going to hit threes. I think they run away with this game probably, so I'd lay the 3.5.
All right. I think I'm with you there. I think I like favorites tomorrow. But how about the Magic, man? We bet them at +170 to win the series. Bro, I'm so hoping that they win this game 5, and then I could just arb it.
I haven't watched a single minute of this series.
Okay, I've actually watched a lot of it. And it's like the film for if you want to show why home court advantage is important. I mean, just 2 different teams out there. And game 4 was closer than the score would make it look. It was tied almost going into the fourth quarter, like in the middle of the third. And Orlando just went on this huge run to make it not in doubt in the end. But it definitely could have gone either way for the first, 30 minutes of the game. I don't know, man. We had that Magic ticket, and I'm rooting it on. I'm wondering if they got some confidence back home, and now that they approach this game 5, a lot more prepared than they looked in the first 2 games. I'm leaning towards taking the 4.5 here, but they were terrible in the first 2 games in Cleveland.
Yeah, I would bet that game live if I had to bet it.
And what would we be targeting? Cleveland money line or Orlando plus 10?
Probably the Cavs.
I would target if I'm betting that game live, I'm targeting Cleveland money line because I think if Orlando loses, it could be ugly. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm not just trying to get a couple extra points.
I don't really have a huge take on this. I haven't watched a single second of the series.
That's fair enough. You and the rest of America. I'm a sicko. Okay. Are we done talking NBA?
I don't think there's much more to talk about.
I mean, the only other thing I kind of had on the agenda was who fucked their season more with the bad trades, the Bucks or the Suns.
Probably the Suns. I think the Bucks.
I mean, in hindsight, doesn't that Lillard Holiday trade look so bad?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't.
You got a 35-year-old small guard that can only score.
Keeping Holiday, are they anywhere different than where they are right now? Like maybe they win a series, but like they're not winning. They weren't winning another championship unless guys got hurt on other teams.
I think they'd be much more alive. I mean, with that coach, they got no chance.
I don't think.
I mean, talk about just mismanagement.
I think we think they're more alive, but I don't think. I think they're still behind the Knicks and of course Boston.
That's fair. I think they're closer to the Knicks than you want to give them credit for, but we'll never know. Okay. You want to talk some NFL?
Talk about how the Falcons stole your quarterback?
Bro, I don't even care. Oh, wait, we want this one. Bro, I'm so happy about getting Brock Bowers.
That's a good pickup, but here's the problem is like he's an elite tight end prospect, but the balls are going to be sailing over his head by 20 yards.
No, Minshew's going to be fine.
I mean, this is coming from the guy. And
he's not overthrowing people. He's underthrowing people. You don't.
I mean, I watched him get Michael Pittman absolutely killed against us last year because he overthrew him. But was about to say this is coming from the same guy. Like, oh, Minshew will be fine. When I sent you the tweet that they signed him, you were like, I don't give a shit about that. It's a backup anyway. Now you're like,
I did think we were drafting a QB, but
I think you guys were too, and then they were all gone by 13.
Yeah. But from what I was reading from Tafor, who's our athletic writer, that the Raiders didn't value him that highly, and that they wouldn't have picked him at 13. They wanted him to drop, and they were going to trade him to the first to get him. So I think they were shocked when Bowers was there.
Yeah, I don't think Bowers. I mean, just all the quarterbacks running off the board so fast. Some of these franchises are just screwed, in my opinion.
All right, let's go over that. First of all, we both agree that the Falcons are fucking stupid. Even if Penix ends up being a great pick, it's a terrible use of resources because you could have either given Cousins someone to work with. I mean, the guys that were available there, unbelievable. Even if it was a defensive player, right? A Byron Turner. Or not. Is that what his name? The guy that went to Seattle? Anyway, the best 3 technique on the board.
No, they took Byron Murphy.
Yeah, Byron Murphy, Dallas Turner, whatever. Any of those guys would be better. And then you look. So it's just a mismanagement of resources because you're either wasting Cousins' huge deal or you're wasting Penix's rookie contract. I just thought it was absolutely terrible, but everybody agrees with us. We can continue to talk about that, Tyler. We can talk about some of these other picks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need to talk much more about the quarterbacks.
Yeah, everybody agrees that. What do you think of Meg's nightmare? Get Jade Daniels. I would trust that front office. I think they made the right pick.
Yeah, I think they did all right with that pick, but the draft I want to talk about is in that division. I mean, the Eagles had a hell of a draft. Can we talk about their picks?
I think the reason they did, though, is because they're so good to begin with that you can afford to draft corners. I think if you're really good, you can't afford to draft corner. If you're really bad, you can't afford to draft a corner because a corner's not turning your team around the way the edge rusher. They
arguably got the corner prospects 1 and 2, and they got one at 22 and one at 40. Yeah. Then they got a defensive end that was pretty good in round 3. They got Saquon's backup, Clemson's running back Will Shipley, who was pretty good running through the ACC last year. I don't know much about the wide receiver they took out of A&M. Jeremiah Trotter out of Clemson fell weight on the boards. That was a great pick. And then they got 2 offensive guards and a wide receiver from Florida State, Wilson. Don't know much about him. But those early picks, I mean,
and they also picked up extra draft picks for next year.
Yeah, they slammed dunk.
That's the best GM in the league. Yeah.
I don't hate the Steelers draft either. They built through the trenches. They got a couple good offensive linemen early, and they got a good linebacker. So I don't hate our draft either.
Yeah, I think you guys did well too. Talk to me about how you think Drake May will do in New England.
Better get him weapons.
That's probably not gonna
better get him weapons, or he's going to be he's going to be the version of Josh Allen where it's all turnovers and no like highlight plays.
Did you love the tweet that I sent you where it talked about how Harbaugh beat all those elite skill players with just trenches?
When I was watching the draft at work, my buddy was like, "Who do you think they pick here?" I was like, "Probably Neighbors." I was like, "But if they were smart, they would take Alt," and then they took Alt.
They are smart. That was huge. Bro, how many people are going to be drafting Ladd McConkey now in underdog and shit?
Oh, for sure.
Bro, he's in such a great position to succeed.
Yeah, he's in a spot to succeed. Xavier Worthy is now Tyreek Hill. I mean, good luck to that team.
Yeah.
They probably
Speaking of Tyreek Hill, what did Miami do? Didn't they pick up?
I don't think Miami did much of anything.
I thought they picked up like linemen. I know they got like a super fast running back again too.
They picked Chop Robinson, who is a defensive end, in round 1. They took an O tackle in round 2. They didn't have a 3rd-round pick. They took a running back in round 4.
And that dude's like faster than A-Chain.
They took the defensive end in round 5, wide receiver in round 6, safety round 6, wide receiver round 7.
Yeah. All right. Minnesota ends up with J.J. McCarthy. How do you see Justin Jefferson doing this year? Is McCarthy going to be able to get him the ball?
I don't think you'll be able to get him the deep balls down the field. Like, you need a gunslinger for Justin Jefferson, and I don't think McCarthy's that guy.
Yeah.
The more I look at all these quarterbacks spread, like, I think like the ceilings are high on some of these guys. Like, oh yeah, they could be like stud quarterbacks. They could be good. But I think there is a pathway where it's like, oh, Caleb Williams and the Bears curse didn't pan out. He's not what we thought he was. Jaden Daniels got hurt or just wasn't. He was just another 5th-year senior that blew up at the end, wasn't really good. Drake May was just turnover prone in New England. He had no weapons. J.J. McCarthy, like, just couldn't get the ball to Justin Jefferson. Just was more of a game manager and never really panned out. Bo Nix, he sucks. Michael Penix, he hasn't.
Bo Nix doesn't suck, dude. I just didn't want to have that argument again there. But I just have to ask you, do you know more about quarterbacks than Sean fucking Payton? Because you told me he sucks all year, and Payton loves the guy.
I mean, Payton loved Jarrett Stidham.
He didn't, not like Nix.
I mean, he gave Stidham $10 million over 2 years.
Took him home for a night or two.
He literally took him to replace Russ, and it didn't work, so they had to draft a quarterback. Yeah. If they think Bo Nix is Drew Brees, then
bro, he's going to be so good, especially with that coaching.
He's also in Denver spread, so when he thinks Bo Nix is Drew Brees, I need whatever weed he is smoking on.
That would be nice. Let's hit up Holden, see if he can help us out there. No, and that's going to be our funnest debate all year, Tyler, because every time he has a great game, I'm going to send you the box score, and I'm sure you're going to send me because he's a rookie. So even if he ends up being good, he's going to have some dead bucket games. Every time he's a bum, you'll be bouncing back. I feel so bad for Penix, man.
By the end of the year,
Nick,
if he starts the beginning of the year,
I don't think he'll start at the beginning of the year. Do you? He'll come in week 3 or week 4, right?
Maybe, but I mean, they really don't have anyone else.
They have Stidham, don't they?
What if he looks better than Stidham in camp, and they're like, we're just going to let the guy go? If he starts the beginning of the year, he doesn't make it to the end. I'll say that.
I think he will. I think you're severely underrating him.
I also think that they will be picking early in the draft 1, 2, or 3, and they will be taking the likes of Ewers, Shador Sanders, or one of these other quarterbacks, probably Beck.
Nah, I think you're underrating this kid. So that'll be a fun argument for us to discuss as the season goes on. Any other like huge splashes you feel like we need to talk about? Do you think the 49ers drafting Pearsall means that they're going to trade Debo? Because that's what
Yeah,
it said.
I don't know if it's exact. I don't know if it's
It might not be
Debo.
this year though. It might be next year.
I don't know if it's 100% Debo, but I think one of them guys is gone.
Yeah.
And the rumors are still out there that the Steelers are getting one of them. Like all these pages keep reporting that the deal's close to being done. Now it could be either of the guys. So I don't know if it's just all
Who
smoke.
would you rather have?
I'd rather have Ayuk.
I'd rather have Debo, but I think Ayuk's got more longevity.
I'd rather have Ayuk because
Just his versatility and the way that you guys play, and the fact that he can run the ball in December.
I don't need that. We got Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. We got 2 running backs already. We don't need
way more
George Pickens can catch the slants and run away and take those to the house, like Freiermuth underneath. Also, I want a guy that every time I watch Ayuk play, when he gets the ball thrown to him, there's no one around because of the separation.
Yeah, he runs great routes. How much of that is Shanahan though? We're gonna find out.
I mean, we'll see, but I think separation is very good for a receiver, and I want that guy.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, there we have it. We had some fun. It was basically just like a sports talk show today, right? We're just bouncing all. I mean, should we break down some baseball too, Tyler? Just kidding.
Nothing on there.
The New York Yankees. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so do we want to do a show tomorrow?
No, we don't have to. We just broke down all the games. Unless something
I'll
drastic
message you.
happens.
Guys, right now it's 50-50. If the Lakers lose tonight, probably going to be logging on tomorrow, Tyler. So you're welcome to join me. If the Lakers win, probably won't be a show. So if you guys want to see me tomorrow and my really cool cats and all my great takes, let's root for the Denver Nuggets. Tyler, what official plays are we going to make? Pull up the playbook. Tell me what you think of these projections. What do we want to make official?
I mean, probably OKC right now for tonight, and that's it.
You don't want Heat plus 10?
No.
Okay.
They could easily get walked off the floor.
Lakers
I'm not betting. I'm not betting the Lakers pregame. I'm not doing this. Nope. Already said I'm not doing it.
All right, fair enough.
It's OKC, and that's it.
I think the Pacers will take money. If you like them, do you think we should take them now?
I mean, I don't hate it. I want to make sure.
I left the fucking game out on my projections. Oh, Sixers next. Let me add that real quick. What about the Knicks tomorrow? Do we want to bet that now?
I mean, I don't see that number going anywhere.
You don't think so?
No.
Who wants to take the Sixers?
No one's going to get rolled out on the Sixers side, and I think there's still a chance Brunson pops with a Q tag. So I'm not running to bet anything early. I'll say that.
Fair enough. All right. Well,
we sit here and deal with this league long enough. Like, why the hell would we try and bet stuff early? So you can message me tomorrow and go, "Oh fuck, Jalen Brunson's rolled out. We bet -4."
Super short subtraction, baby.
Yeah, I'm just not.
No, I agree with you. All right. Well, there's a chance we'll be back tomorrow. And you said you want to make the Thunder official tonight?
That'd be the only one I would make official. Want to get Denver on a better.
I don't know why I'm so worried about these closeout games.
Yeah, I got nothing. I don't know why you're worried, but that's my take.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Hit that thumbs up. If the Lakers lose, I'll be back tomorrow.